You're watching CTV Sports. Let's go!
Hello, Rams, and welcome to another installment of the Monday Night Sports Show. I'm Brian Buck.
And I'm Maddie Warren. We've got all the basketball action here for you and also an exclusive interview with Tatum Neubert. But first, Brian, we can't go without talking about the Super Bowl last night.
I mean, it is the Super Bowl. It was a pretty big game. I don't think anybody was quite expecting that kind of a game. I definitely wasn't. I did have a sneaking suspicion it was going to be the Patriots that won. That was confirmed. But
yeah, and I also thought the Patriots were definitely going to win, but I was kind of hoping the Rams were going to get at least one touchdown in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people hoping it was going to get exciting towards the end. Some of those numbers a little throwing you off there. Brandon Cooks, 120 receiving yards, but the Rams really weren't doing anything offensively. They didn't make it in the red zone. They really didn't look very good. The Patriots were moving the ball steadily, though.
Absolutely, and it's really hard, when you're playing against a team with Julian Edelman. I mean, for 10 receptions, coming in with almost half the yards that the Patriots had as a whole. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard to tough to stop someone like that.
He won Super Bowl MVP, a guy who was drafted out of college as a quarterback, won Super Bowl MVP as a wide receiver. Pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Well, if you've been actively following the men's basketball team, or even just check their results once in a blue moon, consistency is probably a word you haven't used in quite some time. But the Rams might have started to change that on Saturday. They were playing in Colorado Springs against Air Force. J.D. Page inside, and inside is a word I'm going to be using consistently because that's what the Rams were doing consistently. Adam Thistlewood finishing here. Layup in transition on the assist from Kendall Moore, and Nico Carvacho, whose name we're going to be talking about a lot. He gets in on the inside with a little baby hook. Very impressive, very clean. And J.D. Page showing the Rams not only on the inside, but doing it from a little bit of the mid-range game as well. Clean little jumper for him. Air Force keeping up, though. A.J. Jones, he had 14 points on the night. He was the leading scorer for the Falcons. Kendall Moore in transition again, though. He does that every single night. Chris Martin, he goes up, can't quite get it though, but Nico Carvacho, leading rebounder in the Mountain West, who had 20 points and 14 boards, he snags that one, puts it in, and Nico Carvacho again. This time, getting the assist from Hiron Edwards, who led all players with 4 assists on the night. Anthony Massenton-Botter getting in on the scoring barrage for the Rams. Mid-range jumper, he gets the and one, and he made the layup late in the game. Logan Ryan coming in, he works it on the inside as well. And Kendall Moore trying to get the diving layup, and who else but Nico Carvacho to clean it up with the offensive board and the bucket. Abe Kinraid, though, finishing above the glass. Impressive. Air Force did have some nice plays in this game, despite losing, and Nico Carvacho, of course. How else would we finish off the highlight but with him? Again, 20 points, 14 boards. The Rams finished the season series against Air Force, having outscored the Falcons by 55 points in 2 games, and giving Ram fans a real sense of growth from this team. The final from Clune Arena was 85-53.
That was a great win for the men. Mm-hmm. And also on Saturday afternoon, the CSU women's team got a win that was much needed. The Rams got Moby on their feet with a 55-48 victory over Air Force. Although the game started off rough with 3 turnovers in the first minute of play, both teams played a close game until the end. Colorado State's victory was finalized with free throws from Laura DeVos and Mayan Ham. Rams' Tatum Neubert locked in her first double-double game for CSU with 11 rebounds and 12 points. Kaylin Immel led Air Force with a staggering 20 points, and Falcons forward Riley Snyder left the game late in the third quarter with an ankle injury. The Rams will take on Nevada in Reno Wednesday evening. CTV women's basketball reporter Jared Stratton will have all your updates Thursday after that game.
Well, Ram fans, that is all we have for you right now, but stay tuned because we'll have an interview with Tatum Neubert that you don't want to miss. But coming up next is Castro's Cut. Don't go anywhere.
CSU football.
What?
CSU football.
What about it? Did it say ad-lib there?
It was just That's okay.
Wait, what's CSU football? No, it's D-block.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Am I just going crazy?
Yeah, it's D-block.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
How's it going, Rams? Welcome to Castro's Cut. I'm Litos Castro, here to give you the rundown of what's coming up at CSU Sports this week. It's week 2, so without further ado, let's get rolling right into it. First, we're going to take a look at your men's basketball squad. They've got their first matchup of the week coming up on Wednesday. It's going to be against the Nevada Wolfpack, and that's going to be at home at Wednesday in Moby Arena starting at 8 in the evening. Then on Saturday, they head up north to have a standoff against the Wyoming Cowboys at high noon. That's going to be away from home. And then we're going to take a look at your women's basketball squad. We've got the same teams, different time. Wednesday, they're going to have their face-off against the Nevada Wolfpack. That's going to be at 7:30 in Nevada. And then on Saturday, they also take on the Cowgirls. That's going to be at 2 in the afternoon at Moby Arena. Next, we're going to move on to your softball squad. They've got a huge set of matchups coming up this week. They get 2 doubleheaders. First one on Friday. That's going to be against Abilene Christian at 10 in the morning, and then against Texas State at 2:30 in the afternoon. Then on Saturday, they face off against Abilene Christian again for a rematch, that time at 2 in the afternoon, and then UTSA at 4:30 in the afternoon. That's going to be on Saturday for you. And then on Sunday, they finish off against North Dakota State University. That game starting at 9 in the morning. Then we finish off with your women's tennis squad on Sunday. They're heading down to Arizona against Grand Canyon University. Those matchups are going to start at 10 in the morning for you. We're going to see how the women's tennis squad holds up to start off the season. All right, Rams, that's all we've got coming up for you this week. So, you know what time it is? Time for your top play of the week. Let's roll it. Here we have Molly Mouncey out here breaking ankles. Heard about an ankle injury. We heard from Maddie, and I think we can see why on that play. Great job from Mouncey. She's able to get it off to DeVos, who's able to take it up to the basket and get 2 points and 1. Beautiful job from the Rams, coming away with the win against the Falcons this past weekend. All right, Rams, that's all I've got for you, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we've got the Triple J Pick'em Challenge coming up for you. Don't go anywhere.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hello, Ram fans, and welcome back to the Triple J Pick'em Challenge. We are back and ready to make this week's picks, but before we dive into that, no one had a perfect week last week, so let's recap on where we went right and where we went wrong. And I would like to start off by pointing out that I almost went perfect if it weren't for the Super Bowl. I think that was pretty unpredictable. Definitely thought the Rams were going to win there, so I am starting off in first place, 2 for 3.
I don't know. We're only down by 1, so it's not really too much of a lead.
It's a lead. A lead is a lead.
I think the biggest game we have to talk about is the Super Bowl, and I guess you and I are both a little wrong on that. And Jason, you want to elaborate real quick, and I'll let you have your time to shine.
Well, I mean, it was predictable because you don't pick against Tom Brady. That's how predictable it is, because you said it yourself, the Patriots are predictable at winning. There you go. So that's why they won the Super Bowl.
That's a good point, but Tom Brady did not play well in the last 2 games he's had.
Hey, before we talk more about...
Just because he didn't throw a touchdown doesn't mean he didn't contribute to his team.
Can we also talk about the CSU game against Boise? I think I called that one perfectly.
That was a blown lead.
I'll give you
Knew Justinian Jessup was going to lead that one, and I got to say, I really got you guys there.
CSU blew that lead.
That's true.
I'm mad at them.
Hey, I was right, and you guys were wrong.
For once.
Well, I think what really matters is, like Jared said, that I'm off to a great start this semester, and I think Jason said that too. So looking at this week's first pick, we have number 14 Villanova taking on Marquette.
Yeah, so in this one we got Villanova going into Marquette. My pick this week is Marquette because of one player, Marcus Howard. He's averaging 25 points a game, and he's fourth in the country in scoring. So why not have a big game against the undefeated team, the only undefeated team in the Big East?
Yeah, and it's not only him, too. We also have Sam Hauser and his younger brother, Joey. I can't forget about those guys. They are shooting above 40% from the three-point arc. They're going on fire. And this one thing, though, that Marquette's been missing for a long time is having a good defense. And right now, they have a great defense. And then being able to pair that with their scoring abilities, Marcus Howard, Sam Hauser, and his younger brother, Joey, I don't see how they're going to be able to be stopped. Marquette wins this game.
They're on an 8-game win streak.
So I'm going to say that Villanova is going to win this one. I'm very aware of how good Howard is, but I will point out that Villanova has been keeping all of their opponents to under 66, or an average of 66 points. So I think that their defense is really going to be able to shine here, and that's why they're going to be able to win this game today, because of their, or not today, this weekend, because of their defense.
Yeah, but it is in Marquette, so we have to.
Yeah, it is at Marquette. I mean,
are you picking all the home teams today?
Well, they are ranked higher too. They're 10th against the 14th.
Are you picking all the higher seeds today too?
Not always.
Why you keep calling him out like that? Jeez. Moving on.
Because of that.
CSU is hosting number 6 Nevada from home Moby Arena for the state pride game. So Jared, who you got on this one?
I don't really see how Colorado State gets anywhere near to Nevada in this one. Nevada is ranked number 6 for a very good reason. They last time won by 40. And that's not, I'm not making that up. They won by 40 points.
40 points.
And Jordan Caroline, the best possible, he's a forward for the Nevada Wolfpack. The best possible pro comparison I can give to him is a literal microwave. This man can't be stopped. And if you think CSU can stop him, I think that's crazy. And right now they're trying to recruit Kyrie Walker. He's a 5-star recruit. Nevada not only needs to win this game, they need to win it in fashion. And that's why they're going to win this game.
Okay, like you hear, Jared, I completely agree. Won by 40 points. This team, I feel like they're just on 2 completely different skill levels here. And as I mentioned before, when I predicted that CSU was going to lose last time, I predict they're going to lose again here. As I said, they're on a roller coaster. They're up from beating Air Force this weekend, and they're just going to come back down, and that's just how I see it.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's obviously a big upside for Nevada because they're obviously number 6 for a reason. But the Big Chili, number 1 in rebounding in the nation.
You said that against Boise as well.
He's going to have himself a great game.
At rebounding.
You got to contain Jordan Caroline. It's tough, but you're going to have to contain him. Him and Logan Ryan are going to have to double team him. Which means that
everyone else is open then.
No, that means that the Martin twins are going to be open. You got to make them make their shots. If they're on, you're going to win. If they're off, CSU has a great chance at winning. So, unlike last time, Kendall Moore is going to have a great game this time. Nico Medved said that Kendall Moore looked rattled last time they played against Nevada, and that was the first time he'd ever seen the freshman look rattled. So if Kendall Moore has a great game, everybody else has a great game, why not CSU knock off Nevada at home, Moby Madness?
There's a lot of reasons why not.
I mean,
but
I can't count on my hand how many reasons that is wrong.
Nothing I said was wrong.
They're not going to win by 1 rebounder.
I didn't say it was just 1 rebound. I said a whole team effort.
If the Kendall Moore doesn't get rattled again. All right. To continue, number 2 Duke is heading to John Paul Jones Arena to take on number 3 Virginia. And I'm going to let you start this one off, Jessica.
Okay, so I'm picking Duke here. This one's kind of obvious for me personally. They won their last matchup only by 2. RJ Barrett with 30 and Zion with 27. So definitely everyone knows about this. These two, this duo is super powerful. And then a little fun fact for you, since I'm so confident in Duke winning this one. College Game Day is going to be there, and the last 3 times that College Game Day has been at UVA, a student has made a half-court shot. So definitely keep an eye out for that before Duke takes the game.
Okay.
Hey,
wow.
we all
Sure
agree.
that helps that much. Well, yeah, down
No, I'm
the
not. That has nothing to do with
shot.
them winning. Yeah. It's just that's how confident I am in Duke winning.
Okay,
this
so
one.
we have a half-court shot. Let's have like a 0.5 like little tally in there to see if she gets that one right or not.
Yeah. Over under.
I'm not saying they're going to
I'm
make
just
it. I'm
saying.
just saying look out for that because this game, Duke is going to win this.
Yeah, Duke's going to win this game. They have the 3 best players in the country, and they could go 1, 2, 3 in the NBA draft, this upcoming draft. You left out Cam Reddish, who is a phenomenal shooter from the outside. He didn't have a great game against Virginia, but he did have a breakout game in their last game against St. John's. So Duke will handily win this game.
Yeah, I'm not going to be one to choose against Duke. That is a bad idea. I chose against the monster Alabama last year. That was a bad idea. Duke this year, they're almost up there with, I believe, the prestige level Alabama's at right now. Their head coach is killing it. They also have, like you guys said, R.J. Barrett. They have Zion Williamson. They held Virginia last time they played to 17% from beyond the arc, and that's just their defense, and they're not even known that well for their defense, just because their offense is so overpowering. I think Duke is just going to demolish Virginia in this one.
Yeah, and note, last time when they played Virginia, Trey Jones didn't play, who is one of their best defenders, and they shut down the outside shooting, and he's just going to shut them down even more.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can all agree that Duke is going to win this one. But finally, we have number 24, Wisconsin, headed to Chrysler Center Arena to take on number 5, Michigan. So go ahead, Jason, with this one.
Yeah, so with this one, I mean, Wisconsin, they beat them last time they played Michigan, and they're coming off a big win against Maryland, who was number 21 then. Now they are not. Michigan coming off a loss to an unranked Iowa, which, yikes. Unranked. Yikes. So,
keep going. Yeah.
One person you have to look for is Ethan Happ. He averages just over 18 points a game. He had 26 last time they played against Michigan, and if they're going to win at Michigan, he's going to have a big game.
Yeah, well, first off, I'm going to start with saying that my boss really does like Michigan, so I'm going to choose them for completely unrelated reasons. But this game is at home. It's going to be at home. They are ranked number 7th to Wisconsin's 19th. It was switched up today as well. But they are the more consistent team. They have won, I believe, they've lost 2 games this season, and Wisconsin has lost 6. And that shows a lot of disparity on how Wisconsin has not been able to consistently stay on top of their game while Michigan has. And then Iggy Brazingis, I always pronounce his name wrong, but he's going to be a baller for this game. He has been this whole year. And they also have been holding their teams to 57 points allowed, while Wisconsin is holding their teams to much higher points allowed. And also Michigan is leading Wisconsin with most steals per game and blocks per game. So we're going to have a much better defense in Wisconsin going into the game, and I don't see them slowing down their hot streak.
Okay, Jared, let me tell you a little story here. It was January 19th. You do have time. This is a good story. It was January 19th, and that was the day that the Badgers upset the Wolverines this year. So they've already won this season. They've handed them their first L of the season. I think this is going to be a repeat.
Yep.
As Jason mentioned, Ethan Happ is super dynamic. He's able to do just about everything they need him to do on that court. And this team, they really step up against ranked opponents. So I think this is going to be a great matchup. I honestly cannot wait to watch this game, but I've got to go with my pick here. So.
Well, like if they're going to step up and how they lose 6 games this year, compared to Michigan's 2.
Michigan just lost to an unranked Iowa.
Yeah, that's 2 games this whole year.
And you just used
I'm using 6.
You used they're playing at home.
Not only that.
Last week I said
I'm saying
they were playing at home, and that was a bad excuse.
Oh!
Because you and I both predicted wrong last week. I can't say too much on that.
Yeah, you did.
I'm just saying you can't use the at home thing when you said I didn't use it.
Okay, well I'm saying Michigan right now they are higher ranked and they are predicted to win this game. Not only by me, but by I believe 70% they're gonna win from ESPN. It's not just me. It is actually high professionals that get paid much higher than I do. They follow the games much more than I do, and they know what they're talking about. And not only do I listen to them, I also have come up with my own statistics, such as they're leading both steals and blocks, which is a better defense than Wisconsin.
Wisconsin averages more points than Michigan, though. So.
Hey, this
doesn't matter if
Badgers team has proved that they can beat Michigan, so I just think they're going to do it again.
They're going to play these passing lanes, but like a no-fly zone. I guarantee it.
Woo. We'll see. We'll find out.
Well, if they play like they did against Iowa, I wouldn't be too worried. Well, Ram fans, it's all we have for you for the Triple J Pick'em Challenge this week. But head over to our Twitter page now to vote on which game you are most excited about. As for us, well, we'll have to see how this week goes. But don't go anywhere, Rams, because up next, Maddie Warren has an interview with Tatum Neubert that you don't want to miss out on.
You are listening to Track with
Yeah.
DJ Mean Beat.
DJ Nightshade.
DJ Wildcard. Music to me is
one of the best creative outlets that I can think of.
An escape from the real world.
Music to me is an expression of love.
Go from like folk to hip hop to like classic rock, 1960s bossa nova. With music, there's like no boundaries.
I work here because I love music, and you do too.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. Earlier today, the CSU football team announced their full schedule for the 2019 season. And as always, they're going to be starting it off in Denver against the CU Buffs at Mile High Stadium.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see. It's their last year down in Denver playing against them, and then they're going to be back up here in 2020, which I'm really excited for that, but we'll see kind of how it goes. The last 3 years haven't turned out really well for CSU, so I don't know how this game's going to go.
Yeah, in 2020, a little bit of the Rams' first time in Fort Collins in the Rocky Mountain Showdown since 1996, so that's a cool thing to look forward to. And they also got that Arkansas game coming up. I know a lot of fans are excited for that after the big win against Arkansas at home last year.
Absolutely, and I don't think a lot of people were really expecting that big win against Arkansas last year, but it might be a little bit of a different story going into their territory this season.
They're also going to take on the conference schedule, which, again, they're going to get 2 bye weeks, not something you see very often at all in college football. They're going to get it back-to-back seasons. Coach Bobo talked about it this past season, about how it was a big advantage for them, especially in kind of a rough year, to fix the mistakes that they needed to. If it's a bad season, they might get those chances again.
Absolutely, and even looking at how they're starting off the season, I mean, they're going against Utah State out to Utah, and they're kind of trying to come back from a pretty tough loss with an illegal touching call in the last seconds of the last game this season. So they're already going up against a tough opponent, and that might set the bar for the season for them.
Yeah, and then they finish those last 3 weeks. Air Force, Wyoming, Boise State. That's going to be really tough. Border war up in Wyoming. If it doesn't start well for the Rams, it's definitely not going to finish well with those 3 really tough opponents. 2 of them definitely rivalry games, and I know CSU fans care a lot about the Boise State game as well. So the Rams are going to need to start strong if they want to finish strong, because there's not any room for mistakes on the back end of that schedule. It's going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. And with Boise State, I mean, they're losing their starting quarterback, Brett Ripon, but they still have Alexander Madison, who was absolutely destroying the Mountain West last season. So I don't know how it's going to go for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough year for the Rams in football, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, to move on, we are back with another segment of Flip or Flop. We sent out this clip of Laura DeVos from Saturday's game, and is it a shot or is it a block? That's the question. We asked you what you thought, and it looks like 40% thinks it's a flip.
I think it's a flip. I haven't seen it yet. I think she makes the bucket. Laura DeVos has been a good scorer for the Rams so far, but let's take a look at what really happened. Laura DeVos coming down the lane against defender Venesana Iktubu. Both of them going up at the same time. Let's see what happens. Iktubu gets the block. The tinier guard, impressive jump there for her. I would not want to play basketball against her. I can't jump very high. She can jump higher than me. She'd probably do that to me a couple times. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, before we wrap up, Rams, I was able to sit down with CSU women's basketball player Tatum Neubert about being back in her home state. I got the chance to talk to her and her parents on why coming back to Colorado was her best decision.
Three schools, 3 programs. Tatum Neubert has seen a lot of basketball in 5 years.
Gotten to meet a lot of people and know a lot of different basketball programs, so I think it's honestly made me a better basketball player because I've gotten to be in every type of situation, and I like it a lot.
Even seeing so much of the country, she knew she wanted to come back to Colorado.
After I had graduated, I kind of decided that I wanted to go back home, and I had 1 year left, and I wanted to use it to play in front of my family, who has only gotten to see me play a few times, so it was really just wanting to finish my last year at home.
Okay, so Laura, you've got...
Tatum isn't the only one who's excited she's back.
It's awesome.
I mean, we had her, you know, away for 4 years, and it was tough. But every game we could make, we've been here. We got to dinner afterwards. She shoots down. She can see her little sister play basketball. She gets to see her, you know, her dogs and horses, and yeah, so it's been awesome.
No, it's
really
been more
awesome.
than awesome. I have all 3 of my kids in Colorado for at least 1 year.
When given the chance, Tatum's first call was to Coach Williams.
After I had gotten my transfer out, I called him and was like, hey coach, I'm transferring, like, what's up? And we did it in like a day or 2, so it was really cool.
And for Tatum and her parents, Colorado State was the perfect school to end on.
Her first offer ever in college was from Coach Williams. We've always been a fan of the program, and even back then, Keith would tell you that he wanted her to come here because he wanted her to stay home.
For Tatum and her family, there really is no place like home.
You can really tell how excited Tatum and her family are. By the way, Paula literally couldn't stop smiling the entire clip. Like, I don't remember her not seeing her whole front row of teeth. She was super happy to have her daughter in town. Tatum's had a trip. She's been a lot of places, but cool for that family to be back home and all together.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tatum talked about it. I mean, she played at Oregon and then at LSU and then ended up back here. So it was really cool just to see her come home, and her parents make it to every single home game. And they knew that she would end up back home because she's always loved Colorado. I mean, grew up here and everything, and they knew basketball was kind of the path for her. I mean, her dad even said she was dunking in diapers, so they knew it was coming up for her.
I haven't dunked yet, so that's pretty impressive. Well, Ram fans, that's all we have for you this week, but be sure to follow us on Twitter at sports_CTV for all your sports news throughout the week. I'm Brian Buck.
And I'm Maddie Warren. Be sure to tune in back here tomorrow for more news from the people you know, and to see Jessica Mendoza and Tara Barrio bringing you updates from the swim and dive meet and track and field. Have a great night, Rams.